Welcome to the Monk Mode Podcast. My name is Slim V, and I apologize in advance for the very slow nature of this podcast. I have to admit that I just relapsed. I am on the NoFap challenge, and what I've noticed after relapsing or fapping is just an intense amount of brain fog and inability to think clearly and articulate thoughts that come into my mind. So I have to apologize in advance for long pauses in between thoughts or sentences. Just know that, and I'm still here, and I am just thinking of what to say next. Today's day 0 out of 40. My goal is to upload a podcast every single day for the next 40 days until I reach my goal. This is an effort to hopefully keep me accountable to my goal. Today I wanted to talk about something that I've been thinking about recently, and it's this idea of going through NoFap alone. This challenge can get pretty lonely, especially for people who are using PMO, stands for Pornography, Masturbation, Orgasm, in an excessive manner to self-medicate for other problems, for other root causes that they may have. This could be depression, anxiety, trauma, but whatever it is, PMO is generally, and I say generally, used to self-medicate and cover up the root cause, and this leads to addiction. I've been doing a lot of thinking about what the NoFap challenge is relative to PMO addiction, and I couldn't help but think that this is just so similar to a concept from one of my favorite anime shows. I'm a big fan of Dragon Ball Z, and if you are too, you might understand this analogy, especially if you are on the NoFap challenge. Do you remember when Goku and Gohan went into the hyperbolic time chamber in an effort to maximize the time that they had available to them to improve themselves as much as they could so that they could fight Cell? As Fapstronauts, or people engaging in the NoFap practice, challenge, whatever you call it, I think we're Super Saiyans going into the hyperbolic time chamber, and before you start laughing, just hear me out. The way I see it is that we are going into this hyperbolic time chamber, and obviously we are not dilating the space-time continuum, but we go in, and once we step inside, we see this big, white emptiness. We see this void. And if we just sit there, we go crazy. But if we train and fill that time with habits of action, whatever it is, working out, fighting, training, studying, anything, that void is not painful, but rather your entire focus is directed towards your behavior, your actions, your craft, whatever you're doing. And I think it's so important to be aware of this, because when you go into a NoFap challenge, you're removing that self-medication of pornography and masturbation and orgasm. You're removing that, and then all of a sudden you feel a void. That white, infinite emptiness that Goku and Gohan sees in the hyperbolic time chamber. And it is so important to fill the void with stuff. That's why so many Fapstronauts, that's why we read so many success stories on Reddit and all these online forums and YouTube even, and they fill the void. For so long, for many of these men, excessive pornography, masturbation, and orgasm have led to filling the void with all these negative things. And now that we're engaging in abstinence with this NoFap challenge, we start to see this void open up again. And now the void is empty. And if we don't fill that void, man, we are gonna go insane and relapse and exist in that void, in that hyperbolic time chamber. Is just gonna keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So it's so important to fill the void. Fill the void. And when you step out of the hyperbolic time chamber, you're gonna be a fucking Super Saiyan. Oh man, I don't even know what I'm saying. Very abstract thoughts. Let me know what you think. If you're a Fapstronaut, or if you're not, let me know what you think of this hyperbolic time chamber analogy. Relatively short video today. That's all I have for you. Thanks for listening. If you did, feel free to comment, like, dislike, whatever. Peace.